Hi, have you found yourself in a situation where you had to stand against the whole group for what you believe? Let's talk about a Bible character today who stood not just against few people, but against the whole nation for his belief and his faith and his trust in the Lord. In today's Bible Banter. Welcome to today's Bible Banter. Today we are going to talk about a Bible character whose name is Caleb. Now, Caleb is not found to a great extent in the Bible, but he is just found in few chapters in the Bible. But even in his short presence in the biblical story, in God's story for his people, he gave us a very important lesson, and that is to trust in the Lord. Now, the story goes like this: when people of Israel were brought out of Egypt, God had promised them that He would take them to the land of Canaan. And when they reached near the land of Canaan, God asked Moses to select 12 men so that they can go and see how the land of Canaan is and come back with the reports. In our terms, they were spies. Caleb was one of those 12 men. I'm not going to tell you the other friend of his who was in the group because that's the question for today. But then these 12 people went to the land of Canaan, and then they spent few days there, saw how people are, saw how things are, and then they came back with the report. When they came back with the report, 10 out of these 12 people came back with a very fearful report. They described how good the land is, about how fruitful the land is. But then they also came with a word about the people in the land, saying that they are very strong and we won't be able to defeat them. But Caleb and his friend were of a different opinion. Caleb stood strong and said, "We should go and take over the land." Now, people could not understand why is Caleb saying so. They went along with what this group of 10 men was saying. And the fear gripped their hearts and minds. But just because the whole nation and these 10 men were opposing them, Caleb did not move away from what he believed in. He trusted in the Lord, even when the situations didn't look like. He trusted in the Lord, even when people were scared. He trusted in the Lord, even when everyone, those who were standing with him, said, "No, no, no, that's not the right thing to do. Let's just do what we are doing because they are really strong people." My dear friends, after this story, we find Caleb only in book of Joshua. And from this point onwards to where we see Caleb, there a lot of things happen in the history. But there's something important that also happened here. Just because people of Israel did not believe what God's plan was for them, God punished them and they were made to wander in desert for 40 years. But how can they be wrong? 10 men said, "No, they're strong. We cannot really go and defeat them." But 2 men said, "We should go because that is a land for us." My dear friends, when we look at the story of Caleb, we see a man who chose to trust the Lord. Who chose to trust the Lord even in the midst of opposition. Even in the midst of the situation where everyone who were with him started saying opposite to what he was saying. He chose to trust the Lord when the situation was not really supportive for him to do so. My dear friends, so many times in our life, we look at the situation, we look at the circumstances, and we think, oh, that's not really possible. How is that possible? How can I overcome that situation? How can I overcome these circumstances in my life? Or how can I do it? Because I'm not capable of that. Or how can I do it? Because I really don't think so. I can do it. My dear friends, that is what we learn from the story of Caleb. Caleb was not one of the strongest warrior in the people of Israel. But he knew that with him stands the strongest God. He knew that if that is what God's plan is for his people, he will take them there. I don't know what are the circumstances in our life when we are watching this video. My dear friends, the word of God says, lean not on your own understanding, but trust in the Lord. And that's what Caleb did. Let us trust in the Lord. Let us know that He is with us now in whatever our circumstances are. And He will lead us and guide us and take us where He wants us to go. My dear friends, trust in the Lord. Trivia time. As I said in my talk, there were 12 people who went as a spy to the land of Canaan. 2 were important. One was Caleb. Who was the other spy who stood with Caleb in saying, let's go and conquer the land? So who was the other friend of Caleb who was supportive of his opinion that we should go and conquer the land? Second question, to whom did God first promise that He would take His children to the land of Canaan? The question for last times were, to whom did Jesus say, upon this rock I will build my church? And Jesus said this to His apostle, Peter. When they were having conversation, Jesus said to Peter that upon this rock I will build my church. The next question was, who was the 12th disciple who replaced Judas? Now we find this story in book of Acts chapter 1, and all the apostles gathered together and chose Matthias to be the 12th disciple. That brings us to the end of our video. If you're being blessed by these videos or any of the things that we have on our channel, please do share these videos with your friends. If you have anything, any comments, suggestions for us, please do type in the comment section below, or please do write to us. We would love to hear from you, and we would love to improve in what we are doing. And as always, be safe. God bless you all.